for many years. In broad terms, you would describe them as a relief organization helping poor children around the world. They announced a change in their hiring policy. And basically, the president of World Vision U.S., Richard Stearns, said, we're going to allow the hiring of homosexuals who are legally married. And this is what he had to say in the article: changing the employee conduct policy to allow someone in a same-sex marriage who is a professed believer in Jesus Christ to work for us makes our policy more consistent with our practice on other divisive issues. So basically, he says, we're not compromising. It is us deferring to the authority of churches and denominations on theological issues. We're an operational arm of the global church. We're not a theological arm of the church. So basically what he's saying, World Vision, we're going to leave the theological debates on issues like homosexuality up to denominations. We're not really there. We just work with a bunch of different denominations who have differing views on homosexuality. So we're taking this neutral stance.
No, he's not.
No, that's what he says.
No, he's not. He's saying, I read his quote, and I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying I'm arguing with the way he's trying to couch this, and the way he's trying to present it, or as some say, spin. What this fella has done, his name again is Stearns?
Yes, Richard Stearns.
And his board, World Vision, they are huge, folks. I'm talking $1 billion annually.
In revenue a year.
Yeah, okay. Huge. They've been around a long time. What he's done here is he said that he equated the homosexual marriage with a man and a woman being married. That's what didn't he? He made the moral equivalence, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Okay, that is completely, directly 100 degrees, contrary, 180 degrees, right? Contrary to the Holy Scripture.
Yep.
So what World Vision has done here is they've gone against the Bible, and they claim to be a Christian organization. And Ray, were you as shocked by this as I was?
Well, Tim, we've had Rich Stearns. We've had him on AFR talking about he and his wife had them on. We've done our part to help out World Vision, and then to have them turn around and basically say it's okay. I mean, they can say they're not compromising, but this is what compromise is. They're saying they won't take a stand. I saw Franklin Graham, who, his organization, Samaritan's Purse, was basically started out of World Vision. He said yesterday, they don't believe the Bible. Well, that's right. They don't believe the Bible. They're not willing to stand up for it. It's a tragic, I think, in a kind of watershed moment for the evangelical movement.
Yeah, I think this is going to greatly damage the World Vision name and over time cause them to lose a lot of financial support. What do you...
Oh, there's no question about it. And there's so many organizations affiliated with World Vision.
Oh, yeah.
They sponsor Christian music concerts.
Right.
They've been very involved, highly respected down through the years. There are a lot of people who donate money on a regular basis. They adopt children through World Vision, provide. This is incredible.
Here's what I heard today. I heard today that number one, World Vision did not let they're hooked up with some of the largest Christian musician groups, musical groups or bands or whatever. Casting Crowns, Third Day. The list, they've got a long list of groups that, you've been to their concerts. These concerts you go out to, and then they stop in the middle of the concert and they say, hey, go by the World Vision table and sponsor a child. Well, World Vision pays these groups to raise money for their, it's a good, aside from this particular issue we're talking about, it's a good working relationship because these artists get in front of millions of people annually, so they're able to give exposure to World Vision and help sponsor children. That's the ultimate goal. But I'm hearing that, I heard today that World Vision did not let these artists know ahead of time, and there's 100 of them probably, these groups and artists, and Max Lucado's on the list, for example, as a speaker who raises money for World Vision. They didn't let them know ahead of time that this was coming down. It's just stunning to me that the PR disaster that would be, Fred.
And you have to wonder, we can only speculate. We weren't in the boardroom, but
Yeah.
I mean, we found out, Brian Fisher has an article on One News Now today. They get apparently now World Vision 18 to 30% of that revenue comes from government contracts.
Right.
So you have to wonder, okay,
Are they even evangelizing anymore? Are they proselytizing?
No, they've been in trouble before with the evangelical community because they said, we go into countries and it's not our business basically to share the gospel. I'm paraphrasing there. That's not what our calling is.
Well, they might as well be UNICEF. They could be UNICEF then, because I didn't even know that. There are other great groups that sponsor children, like Compassion International. We promote Gospel for Asia. Many of our churches have missionaries, or if you're in a part of a denominational church, your denomination has agencies that sponsor orphanages and things like that around the world. So there are other places to go besides World Vision. I want to quickly. So anyway, I think this is a terrible decision. I agree with Franklin Graham. It's against the Scripture, and I think it's going to damage World Vision, short term and long term. Real quickly, Fred, I wanted you to comment on the other big news today, and that's what's going on in Washington, D.C. at the Supreme Court.
Yeah, as we sit here right now, lawyers for Hobby Lobby and another
like
Christian,
right now, they're doing it right now, right?
Conestoga Wood Specialties, a Pennsylvania business. Most of our listeners, again, are going to be familiar with the case. Hobby Lobby is gone to court and other Christian organizations to fight what's called the Obamacare contraceptive mandate. Basically, these Christian-run companies are saying, we do not want to be forced to supply abortifacients, medicine that causes abortions to our employees. We don't want to be forced to have to cover the cost of these abortifacients for our employees. The government is saying you don't have a choice. You're not a church organization. You may be Christians who run it, but you have no right, the government is saying, to apply your Christian beliefs to your Christian business. And that's what this case comes down to. The government is saying, owners, the Green family of Hobby Lobby, you're welcome to have your Christian beliefs, but you're not allowed to apply your Christian principles to your business.
Ray?
It seems like this is, we've got two watershed moments. The World Vision is one question. And Fred, is this not a major milestone in whether or not religious freedom is going to be upheld in our country?
Well, there's no question about it, and even John Boehner yesterday, the House leader, chimed in on this and had a very interesting remarks to make. He says, in the United States of America, no citizen should be compelled to violate their convictions, let alone be punished for refusing to do so. But I'll tell you what, the other side, I got a press release from the ACLU this morning, but that's exactly what they're arguing. Here's what the ACLU had to say. They said religious freedom is one of the most fundamental values. It includes the right to our beliefs, but not the right to impose their views on others or to discriminate. Now, that's going to be the argument from Barack Obama's Justice Department on this. They're going to say that you can have your religious views, just keep it inside the walls of your church. You can't apply it to your business.
This is, we've got to move on here, but this is tragic that the federal government, under the direction basically of Barack Obama, the president, is going after they're going after Christian businesses using Obamacare to try to force them to pay for abortions as part of their insurance plans. That's what this is all about. So I think they got a 50-50 chance here of winning. I'm talking Hobby Lobby at the Supreme Court level. Maybe greater. I mean,
and this is what's happened in the lower courts. The 10th Circuit agreed with Hobby Lobby.
Right. They've already, Hobby Lobby won at the 10th Circuit Appellate Court of Appeals, which is just below the Supreme Court.
But Conestoga, in their appeals, they
the
lost.
The other company.
Yeah,
okay.
the other company lost. So this is big.
Well, this is huge. We need to pray for. Well, they're as we speak, they're inside the Supreme Court chambers having this hearing. Hobby Lobby's lawyers are representing them.
And people need to be aware. If they lose, they face fines. Hobby Lobby could face a fine of $1 million a day.
They can't stay in business. They've said they'll have to shut their doors.
Green Family said we will shut our doors before we'll go along with this.
Yeah, this is who half of America voted for a man who will go after Hobby Lobby to make them pay for abortions. Unbelievable that we've come to this point in our country. You know, we've got to change our ways, as they say.
What did you say, Tim? All along over the last several years, elections have consequences.
Elections have consequences, and that's what we're dealing with here. You're listening to the radio. Thanks, Fred.
All right.
One News Now. Check it out. Everything we've just talked about, we've got stories on right now at onenewsnow.com, onenewsnow.com.